Hey guys, it's Nick. I'm just in New Brunswick right now visiting my family, visiting the kids, and I was just sitting there kind of bored, figured I'd maybe make a quick video for you and show you some of the knots that I like to use when I'm fishing and their different uses. And you'll have to forgive me, again, in New Brunswick I didn't bring any of my fishing gear with me. As most of you know, I do a lot of fly fishing, but I'm also on the river quite a bit doing centerpin angling and on the lakes fishing for bass and stuff like that. Alright, so first knot, as I said, is going to be the perfection loop. And I find I use this mostly when I'm tying two lines together, such as a fly line to a leader material. And basically what you can do is you can do loop-to-loop connection that way, and it's more streamlined, it's more in line to each other. And the whole purpose of the loop knot is that at the bottom of where the knot comes together down here, directly in the center of it is where the main line comes down from, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute here. Okay, so you make an initial loop like this, wrap over to create another loop, and then take your tag end and go directly up in between. You're going to take the new loop that you just made and slide it into your initial first loop, and that's what it's going to look like. And as you pull this tight, you can see already that once the knot forms, right? Once the knot forms, that your tag end is going to be directly at the bottom of your loop. So once this all tightens up, and this is thick cordage, this is shoelaces, it's not gonna come together. But you can see the bottom of the V here, where the loop comes to a point at the knot, directly in the middle of it. That's where your main line is. So then you would cut off your tag end right here, and then you'd be able to go loop to loop with your fly line. So that's the perfection loop. It's very, very quick to tie on the river. It takes you about 5 seconds maybe. So there, go over, up and in, and there you go. You pull that tight like that. So maybe 5 seconds if I could have grabbed the line properly. And then, as I say, that pulls tight, the knot comes together, and there's your knot. Perfection loop. Okay, so the next knot that I'm going to show you, this is called the clinch knot. So again, we're going to pretend that this is our fly hook here. And so we're going to feed the line in, right? You're going to twist your hook. I twist, so I guess these are technically half turns, so I would consider that a half turn, right? But I twist it 4 to 6 half turns depending on the diameter of my fly line. The smaller, the more turns, the bigger, the less turns. So we're going to do 4. We'll do 4 on this one. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can see you've got a bit, your twist is up here, and then you have your I'll do 5, so you have your other loop down here. Can you see that in the video? So then I'm going to bring the tip of my fly line up through that loop, and I just hold the tag end, and you should wet this area here with either spit or use the river. And as you pull that tight, it creates like a small, it looks like a little beehive, like a little honeycomb, right? And once that cinches up, that's your clinch knot. Okay, so again, live action. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, up through, and then pull, and it creates a nice beehive right there. And that's the clinch knot. Okay, so now I'll show you how to do the improved clinch knot. So it's very much the same steps. It's only one more step from the other, from the regular clinch knot, and it's just feeding the line back through on itself. So again, here's your hook. Feed your line through. Okay, we'll go 1, 2, 3 like this. We're going to go up through the first eye, through the first loop here, and the whole time my finger is maintaining another loop back here. You go over you go over the line and back through. So now it looks like that, and then as you pull tight, it will make that same looking beehive, but your knot is going to actually, the tag end is going to stick out slightly different because it's pinching itself in two different spots now. And then again, cut off your tag right about there and you're good to go. That's the improved clinch knot. So one more time, kind of live speed here. So you got your eyelet, you take your line, you're going to feed it through. You're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, through the initial, back through that way, lubricate, pull tight, and it cinches down, and that is your improved clinch knot. Okay, so the next knot I'd like to show you, it's called the Davey knot. I'm not sure what my camera was doing the last time I tried to record it, but the autofocus likes to do stuff on its own. So with this one, I'm going to take my line, I'm going to feed it through the eyelet of the hook, right, just like that, and I'm going to do a simple overhand knot so that I've got what looks like this. Okay, so with this one here, basically I'm coming over and back through the line like that. Does that show well enough? And then I'm going to pull that tight, and again, it won't look like it is with this line because it's so thick, but this actually makes a very, very small knot. Very, very small knot. So it's perfect for using ultrafine tippet and using like small hooks and stuff, like 22s, 24s when you're dry fly fishing, etc. But again, I won't use this stuff for bigger fish when I'm fishing on bigger rivers because it does have a higher a lower breaking strength than some of the other knots that I use. So once again, the Davey knot in kind of live action here. I feed it through. I make an overhand knot. So through like that, over my initial and back through, and then tug that up tight, and that's my Davey knot. And it does get significantly smaller than that. So that's the Davey knot. Alright, so the last knot that I want to show you guys today, it's my favorite for using when I'm fishing something that has that I want a lot of action on, that I don't want the knot to actually be pinched up right tight against the eyelet. So for example, with fly fishing, I would use this for woolly buggers. If I want them to have a lot of action, I would use it for small, like micro leeches. I would use it for some nymphs potentially if I wanted them to have a lot of movement in the water, San Juan worms. And for bait casting, I would use it on just different casting baits and stuff like that, stick baits where you're ripping them through the water and you want them to have all that jerking and movement and so forth. So with this one here, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to tie an overhand knot, and you're going to create yourself a little loop like that. So I usually make it significantly small, feed my tag line through, and then I'm going to come back up through the knot like that, and I'm going to slide it relatively close to where I want it to end up being on the eyelet. So with this one here, I mean that's an inch away or so. So this is my tag end again, and I just take the tag end and come around behind my main line and up through. And essentially I'm just creating like a little slip knot is all it is. But the best part about it is it doesn't go anywhere. So I've never ever had one of these knots break on me or loosen off on me or slide or anything like that. And I've caught 50-inch gar using these kind of knots. So anyway, that is the I just call it a loop knot. just because, as I say, you've got lots of room, lots of movement. This moves around a lot in here, lots of action. Again, I'll tie that for you, kind of live speed, just to show you how quick it is. These are all knots that I try and keep in my repertoire, just so that I'm not taking forever on the river to tie new knots. Okay, so live action of the loop knot. There's my tag end down here. I'm just creating an overhand knot. I'm going to feed my tag end through there, back up through my loop, bring it down, and then I go behind and up and around like that and clinch it tight, and there you go. That's a loop knot. Okay guys, thanks very much for sticking with me through that video. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it adds to your fishing knowledge and your knot knowledge. You know, you can always revert to the if you can't tie knots, tie lots motto. I prefer to just keep a couple good ones in my back pocket. So I hope that helped you. If it did, feel free to hit the like button, and that tells me that you enjoyed the video. If there's any other knots that you'd like to learn how to tie, just leave a comment in the section below in the comments section, and I'll try and make a video of that once I get home and have all my other materials at my availability. And yeah, if you did like the video, I'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and maybe share it with your friends. Till the next one, talk to you guys soon. Bye.